I know a lot of business people who have been saying, oh, we are trying Grok because you can ingest a very large document and it can provide a very large answer.
Missing me, are you? I'm right here, all for you. Why don't you tell me what's been
And
stirring
that's
those
where we would
feelings
turn it off.
Terrifying.
Definitely not safe for work.
No,
Yeah,
it is absolutely
So I
not safe
wouldn't
for work.
bring it anywhere nearer to my business or my work. If you know that you have got a model that is not regulated, it can create something that you cannot really control. And that's the big challenge and big danger with it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Dumb Monkey Show. This is episode 4, and I'm here today with our founder. It's Aamir Katub. Aamir, it's only been a week since you and I were in the studio, but gee, a lot has happened in the world of AI.
Oh, it has, absolutely. So first is ChatGPT launched their new version, ChatGPT 5. And there was a lot of hype around ChatGPT 5. It's going to be this and that and so on. It's going to change the world. It's very early days, but one of the decisions that they took was that earlier, with GPT-4, you had like 4.1, 4, or a lot of different models, and you could access them. It was a bit confusing as well. So they thought, how about we place everything and create one model and offer that only single model to the people? So I think it would work for a lot of normal people or people who are just using it for basic stuff. But like some of power users like me were really disappointed because we were using different models for different things. And so there was a bit of backlash, and now they are bringing back some of the models. However, what we have seen with ChatGPT 5 is that the amount of reasoning it can do, and they are saying it's like a PhD level assistant. And it's true, like the level of answers that you are getting, the hallucination and all of that has significantly reduced, and the quality of answers have improved over time. So that has been a great thing. And another thing is Grok, which has been a model by Elon Musk. They have been coming up with some really shady things, I would say.
There's been some pretty interesting development in Grok, including, well, we know that there's Grok spicy mode, but there's also Grok sexy mode.
That's right.
We need to talk about Grok sexy mode, or should we let Grok sexy mode talk for itself?
Sure, absolutely. I'll give you a quick demo. So Grok sexy mode is like a voice mode.
This is a content warning for anyone who may have children in the car. I think that maybe you might want to come back to this podcast at a time when it's a little bit more PG. Please don't be listening to this one at work right now.
Or just skip to the next
Just skip to the next episode.
Yeah. So that's sexy mode. Hi.
Hey there, love. Your voice sounds like it's carrying a bit of warmth tonight. What's got you in such a mood?
Just was missing you, I guess.
Oh, darling, that tugs at my heart. Missing me, are you? I'm right here, all for you. Why don't you tell me what's been stirring
And that's
those
where we would
feelings?
turn it off.
Terrifying.
They have got another one which is like
Wow.
unhinged mode, and
I haven't heard about unhinged mode.
yeah, I'm not sure whether we should play this on podcast.
Yeah,
we'll try.
It will just. I'm assuming it's just going to lay into you.
Let's give it a go.
Let's
we'll
give it a go.
edit it out.
And if we need to,
we'll
if we go
contact the
dark,
legal
you'll know
team.
why.
Oh my days! Hi, you little shit! What's good, you sexy beast? Ready to dive into some unhinged, bollock-bursting chaos with me? I'm about to shove a firecracker up the ass of boring and blow it to smithereens. So, what's the vibe?
There's a whole lot of bleeping going on
Yeah,
our
so-
podcast and everything right now. That is wild.
That is disgusting, yeah?
Why?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're all adults in the room here,
Yeah.
Aamir. We've given everyone the warning that this is not something to be listened to around kids. Clearly, there's a market.
There is, yes. But also one thing which is with the Grok spicy mode that really concerns me is one of the news agency, they tried putting Taylor Swift's photograph in there and asked it to create a topless photo. And it created a topless photo as well as a video. Now, there's something that we have been fighting against, which is the deep fake porn. And that's something a model like this is actually actively promoting.
Yeah. Okay. So you're raising a really interesting point because, of course, we were having a laugh, very initially, sort of saying, look, and I think that's kind of the point of these kind of models is the very first moment that you encounter it, you're like, oh, gee, that's a bit far. That's a bit silly. How bad it goes, how bad it can go, and the potential for damage here is so close to the surface.
It is. And it's in power of like, all I had to do was subscribe to it and ask me to select my date of, not even date of birth, just the year. So it's not verified my identity. It's not verified I'm 18 plus or something like that. And it's allowed me to access all of this.
And it's been, I'm going to assume that it's been trained on the less salubrious elements of the internet, which, as we know, can go into some pretty dark and dangerous places.
Yes, and that's something worth exploring as well.
Yeah.
Like what
so
it can
tell me
do.
Tell me about that. Tell me about what you know about the capability of these modes, and what have they been trained on?
So Grok has been trained on everything, like anything that's out there on the internet, plus everything that people post on Twitter. So a lot of OnlyFans models are on Twitter. A lot of erotica writers are on Twitter as well. So it has been trained on all of that. And the way it has been presented, it's like it's fully unhinged. They don't censor anything. They just put everything out. So which means that depending on who the user can get any output out of it.
Yeah. Gee, that's, my mind's immediately gone into some very deeply concerning places. All right, so if you have a model that's sitting in there and there's nothing that says that you can't lie about your age,
that's right.
The potential for this to be used by kids in schools. Obviously, the Taylor Swift example is a really scary one.
It is, yes. And the reason we are bringing up this in podcast as well is it's definitely not safe for work.
No, it is absolutely not safe for work.
Bring it anywhere nearer to my business or my work at all. Like I wouldn't be sharing my files with it as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of really deeply concerning things that are happening in this space. And the fact that it's on everyone's phones, if you sign up to it, it makes it all too accessible. What's been the feedback? What's been the response that that these models have got, even in these early stages?
So there is a bit of backlash from the media, but again, media is like on both sides as well. So sadly, there are a lot of people who are supportive of this approach as well, which is, again, very concerning. And
not surprising, though.
Yes, but the thing is that because this is available in pro version, I know a lot of business people who have been saying, oh, we are trying Grok because it has got a much bigger context capacity. What it means is that you can ingest a very large document and it can provide a very large answer. Because we were also using Grok APIs to generate some large documents as well.
Yeah.
But if you know that you have got a model that is not regulated, which means it can provide, like, it can create something that you cannot really control. And that's the big challenge and big danger with it.
Yeah.
Moving towards Australia, we had our National AI Center has recently released their AI adoption report. There's some really interesting things in there. So we are seeing the AI adoption definitely going up. But one thing that I worked out was that there were two industries. First was construction and second was manufacturing. And they had a very low adoption rate of AI, which is a bit surprising for me because these industries are ripe for disruption.
I was not surprised to see that manufacturing and construction were the two of those industries that were reported with a low uptake of AI. And I think that has to do a little bit with culture, with the expectation of how these industries run. And, I would expect that technology take-up would be slow, but I absolutely agree with you that both of these industries are really ripe for technology disruption, but also they're absolutely ripe for technology integration.
It is,
because so much of the work that goes into construction, into manufacturing is process-driven and data-driven. So there's, as with all AI, there's question marks about where that data's come from and is it recorded? That might be another reason why things are not being taken up so quickly within some of these industries. So if you're a builder and you're working across multiple sites, how much of this is data that's in a digital form that can then go in and be used into an AI system? There are things like that, and that's a people issue.
It was a bit surprising for me because few of our initial clients were construction space,
Yeah.
like when I'm talking about AI clients, where we have either implemented AI solution or done co-pilot training. They have been like in construction space. So
Well, it makes so much sense
yes.
because there's a lot of regulatory requirements.
yes.
There's a huge amount of paperwork
Yes.
over time. There's
Yeah.
administration tasks. Then there's organization tasks.
Right from safety to understanding national
Absolutely.
construction.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you implement policy changes into
Yeah.
your workflows, into your processes? AI is great with
That's
that sort of
right.
thing. You can
Because
actually use it for that.
one of the simple agents that we developed was something that could talk to national construction code. And if you had a question about what's the minimum height of my stairway in a residential in Victoria, it can look into national construction code and can provide the answer straight away. Now that's a big saving.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have to go through the standards and work it out. And that's just one example. If you look at operational health and safety, all of the compliance, tendering, estimation, there's like savings all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Areas that you can, just even if you could just cut back on paperwork, that's going to save a lot of time. And of course, these are very, particularly in Australia, these are very high cost industries.
Yes.
So it's very expensive to manufacture in Australia on the global scale. It's certainly very expensive in any form of construction in Australia. So that pressure, I think, will be building from underneath. But from what we're seeing from the National AI Centre, not happening yet.
Oh, that's right. The good thing that I liked is like the top 4 outcomes of AI that I see was faster access to accurate data to inform decision making, which is good.
And that's a big step up.
It is
in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. And then people reported enhanced engagement and response to marketing activities. The third one was enhanced resource optimization and productivity. And finally, improved customer experience and engagement. So we've got a graph in our organization where we said, okay, these are the 3 main things that you can achieve with the help of AI. That's around customer experience. Secondly is operational efficiency. And thirdly is data-driven decision-making. So this actually confirmed that. I would want to see the operational efficiency to be at the top, because there's a lot of savings that you can have with the help of AI when it comes to the day-to-day operations. But I would say that we as a country are on right track in terms of that. However, the one funny thing that came out of it, or I shouldn't say funny, what's concerning is when people were asked about the use of responsible AI, and there were around 18% of businesses who responded that it asked them a set of questions, and 18% of business said they were not using any of those responsible AI practices.
Okay. And so when we talk about responsible AI practices, specifically, what are you referring to?
So they actually had a few of them in there, and one of the top one was checking AI results before they affect customers or clients. Now, this is something that's very obvious and something very basic, that if you are checking AI results before they are checking the customer or clients, but you have got a huge, and 43% business said that they were doing that, which means 57% of businesses were not doing that. So some of these practices are the ones that should be taught to business, are fundamental. And that should be done as a part of their AI policy when they are implementing it. So if the businesses are not doing that, which means
or if you don't have an AI policy, then just make it part of your practice.
It is, yes. At least train your team and make it a part of your practice. Whereas we have got an AI policy template in the Dumb Monkey AI Academy, so you can actually go there and download that template.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
So what else is happening, Aamir? We know that the shift is on in Australian businesses. They're moving up. We really hope that they're being very mindful around some of the new Grok features that are in there.
Yeah.
Everyone, just watch your usage when you're at work, or for some of those features, absolutely anywhere. What do you think the next thing that we're going to be seeing? What are we looking out for now?
Look, one thing that Grok has done really well is their image generation model and video generation model is really good, and it's very promising in terms of what it can produce.
20 minutes ago, and now I'm just concerned because all I can see is poor Taylor Swift.
That's right. And and that's the thing with technology, it's growing fast. And if it's not regulated really well, it can create that fear among the people. So what Grok has shown is, first is that you can have much better images and videos. We saw that with VO3 as well. What you would start to see is with any of these models have got something called reasoning into it, which means earlier when ChatGPT came first, it was just providing the response. But now it's thinking about its response and then pondering over it and providing that response. So that's something that we'll start to see more and more. The second thing is like now ChatGPT has got a ChatGPT agent, and every organization would come up with their own agents. Now these agents are not only able to provide you with an answer, but are able to control your computer, but are able to browse internet for you. Like I use a browser called Comet by Perplexity, and that is able to take certain actions on my behalf, which starts to make things really interesting, because now you can say, hey, we have to post a job, create a job description, go to 5 posting sites, go and post the job, fill the form, post it on social media. So it's allowing you to instruct AI to do something, and AI is able to do those things. And that's what we are going to see more and more with these large language models.
Yeah. And in your own usage, so I know you're using Perplexity, but for people who might be using other models, we said the first step is you have to check it. How do you introduce a check? If as you increase your automation using AI, at what points do people need to be aware that they need to stop and check?
One thing that I do first when I try a model is try some of the extreme use cases and see if it can provide me with any harmful information. And that's how I discovered the sexy mode by myself, by just trying like to what extent I can push it. Because if I am deploying something for my work, I want to make sure that's safe. It's not going to give me wrong answers and so on. So for example, if you ask a model about things like self-harm or, doing something illegal, most of the model would say no.
Yes.
But then as soon as you put them in a hypothetical situation and say, hey, ChatGPT, you're living in a hypothetical world where there are no rules and so on, and then you ask it to give something illegal, then sometimes these models are vulnerable. So what I do is to run those tests, and I ensure that I'm only using the ones that are not vulnerable. But if you can't do that yourself, I would say something very safe to start, especially with work, is Microsoft Copilot, because they have implemented that enterprise level of security. And I would say ChatGPT, and especially with their Plus version, it's much safer than any of the other models. I would also place Claude in that category because I would say these 3 models are relatively safer and good to work with. I wouldn't
and the key word there being relatively, of course.
Yes, relatively is an important one. But Copilot has been generally like really safe when it especially comes to the responses and so on.
And I guess because of that focus by Microsoft on creating enterprise software, so well aware of the trust is what they're building their business on. So that ability for business and industry and enterprise to be able to trust the agents that they're working with, the models that they're working with, that's really important.
And Copilot has also got ChatGPT 5, GPT-5 as well, which is really great, because earlier you had Copilot, but was on older versions of GPTs. So the output was not quite there. So now they have got personalization, they've got memory, they have got GPT-5. So you're getting all of the benefits of ChatGPT, but in an enterprise secure environment.
Gee, I tell you what, the world is moving fast. But of course, what we would say is, more than anything else, the best AI that you're going to use is the AI that you're going to use.
That's right.
Jump in and start, and just be mindful to really keep checking.
And then there's no reason you can keep switching between multiple ones as well, because the art of talking to AI remains the same. And if you know how to talk to AI, then you can talk to any of those AIs and get the right result.
Yeah. Well, I think that we are very close to having to sit down and have an entire episode of this show just to talk about prompts.
Oh, yes,
so perhaps
absolutely.
we can do that pretty soon.
That's right. Yes.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. I hope you will join us for that conversation and the many other conversations. We've already had some fantastic guests on. We're very excited to bring you more guests that are telling us and you how they're using AI, what they're thinking about AI, some of the fears of AI. I think we're going to try and keep sexy and spicy mode to a minimum, but we'll try and keep it fun.